Very good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss about supervised learning. What is meant by supervised learning? Supervised learning in a machine learning, it is a fundamental approach for machine learning and artificial intelligence. Yeah, we already knew about from the name itself. We can come to know that is what is supervised. That is under the supervision, some monitoring. Best example we can say there is a classroom activity that is under the monitoring of that is the students are there. Under the monitoring of teachers, the students are there. Okay, that is the best example we can say the supervised. And here the supervised learning, it involves training a model using labeled data. What is labeled data? Labeling in the sense we can have some cloth materials, or for example we have some cloth materials, no labeling, some printing or brand name is mentioned. Likewise, we need to mention the data name. For example, if we assume cat, rat, or mat, or likewise something else, we need to name it. That is the labeled data, where each input comes with a corresponding correct output. The process is like a teacher guiding a student, hence the term supervised learning. Yeah, from this image we come to understand that is we have the image that is labeled data, that is elephant, cow, camel is there, and the labels we have mentioned here, cow, elephant, and camel. So that what will happen, the algorithm will analyze with the help of the label data, then it will process using its machine learning algorithm like classification and regression. After that, the output will be finalized. These are the elephant, these are the camels, and these are the cows. This is how the supervised learning process is working. And here I have given the link for your reference with the full detail, that is the Geeks for Geeks. This website is very useful and authenticated, and you may refer this website also. And how the supervised machine learning works. Supervised learning algorithm consists of input features and corresponding output labels. The process works through the training data as well as the learning process. What is training data here? The model is provided with training data set that includes input data, that is input data, it is also named as features, and corresponding output data. Output data, it is named as labels are target variable. Okay, and this learning process, the algorithm process the training data, learning the relationship between the input features and the output labels. This is achieved by adjusting the model's parameters to minimize the difference between its prediction and the actual labels. Supervised machine learning involves training a model on label data to learn patterns and relationship which it then uses to make accurate prediction on new data. And how this image represents, that is algorithm and logic. Algorithm based upon the training, the algorithm's trained input and the logic, and if logic, it should be tested before implementation. It should be tested, that is input as well as the output. Training phase involves feeding the algorithm label data, where each data point is paired with its correct output. This algorithm, the algorithm learns to identify patterns and relationship between the input and the output data. So testing phase, coming to the testing phase, it involves feeding the algorithm new unseen data and evaluating its ability to predict the correct output based on the learned pattern. And here I have mentioned the example video link, and if you go through this link, you are able to understand the clear detail about the how the supervised machine learning works with the clear example. And the types of supervised learning, we knew that as the types, here it is mentioned as classification and regression. Classification, that is defined labels. Regression, low label is defined. Supervised learning can be applied to two main type of problems, that is classification problem, and where the output is categorical value. That is, what is categorical variable? That is spam or spam versus not spam, emails versus no, that is yes or no form. And regression, where the output is a continuous variable. Example, predicting house prices, stock prices. That is here also I have mentioned the explanation video. We can go through this video for this detailed analysis. And the training the model in supervised learning, how the training model is a model is trained. While training the model, the data is usually split in the ratio of 80:20. That means 80% of the training data and the rest of the testing data. In a training data, we feed input as well as output of 80% of data. The model learns from training the data only. We use different supervised algorithms to build our model. let's first understand the classification and regression data through this below table. Here we have mentioned so many data. That is for classification, the result output is yes or no, that is either 0 or 1. But coming to the regression model, we can have the floating points variables also. So this is how the training model takes place. And both the figure A and B explanation I have given in the last slide itself. And the examples of supervised learning, fraud detection in banking, that is Parkinson disease detection, especially prediction. It is used in the medical field, as well as the customer churn prediction. That is what the customer is going to decide, that will be predicted before itself. Cancer cell classification and stock price prediction. These are some practical examples of supervised learning. Thank you for your passionate listening.